Hey everyone, welcome back to the Black Brain Trust. This is episode 938, Black Politics. Please hit the like button as you come in, share the video if possible, and hit that notification bell so you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust. I'm here with my co-panelist, Nagona 11.
Hey Mike, how are you?
Good, and I think would be better if we had more voters who spoke like this gentleman in this video who voted for Trump. Let's play the video and give our analysis, and then we'll give our conclusion.
You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us. In Polk County, since '98, I was a firefighter in California. I saw what can happen when a state works together with its people. This state does not know how to do that. I inherited a century farm from my father because he was born, raised here. My great-great-grandfather helped open this university. I am pissed, and I'm pissed at you because I have emailed you because it's easier for me than to try to talk on the phone without profanity. I would appreciate you taking your father's U.S. Constitution book, read it, study it, make your own lines underneath it, and get Trump out of office. The man is a dictator. He knows nothing about what he talks about. I listened to him for about a half hour today, and I got sick at all the lies he brought up. Now, I'm about ready to lose my farm. Do you know why? I'm sure you don't know why.
Lose your what, sir?
Farm.
Farm?
Yeah.
Why is that, sir?
Because Missouri does not have wills. They have trust. They have legal zigzags. And a trust, most people don't know anything about. So I'm dealing with a state that's a crooked state, doesn't care about what farmers happen. The only reason why we have farmers today is because the federal government funds them. How much money of our tax money goes to farmers? Farmers work very hard, but they're funded by the federal government, not by selling groceries. That's what Foster Farms and all of those characters, that's where they get their money. The price of steaks, $20 a pound, because of big business. You want to straighten out the budget? Start taxing corporations and the wealthy, like we've been telling you. Do you think we're idiots? Do you think we don't pay taxes? Do you think that we don't have to make budgets? You talk about half-truths when I listen to you. You know nothing about taking care of children because you've always had a really good-paying job. You know nothing about what a working-class citizen does. Come down here. Come down here and start trying to pay your medical insurance. Come down here and walk into Costco to try to feed your family, to feed your kid that's moved out, to feed your great-grandchildren. I had a very good job in California, and I'm able to feed my family, and it goes all the way to great-grandchildren. You're not helping me. Believe me, you're not helping me. You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us.
Thank you. Did you say your name's Fred?
Yeah.
Fred, thank you so much, and I appreciate your passion, your love for our country, and we'll be glad to work with you. I really want to have an open line of communications. You know, sometimes I'm even in my office and my staff doesn't really like this, but I answer the phone. when I'm in the district and when I'm in D.C. If I have free time, I'm not in a committee meeting or on the House floor, I like to answer the phone because I like to hear from people like you, because an email does not capture the passion with which you presented your argumentation today, and I appreciate that. You're right, our farmers have not had a great deal. I do believe that the so-called subsidies or the safety nets that farmers receive are imperative to their survival. In order for a farmer to make a living these days, to plant a crop, they have to borrow the money to do that. And in order to borrow the money, and because of the high input costs for fuel and labor and other issues, fertilizer, they're having to borrow the money, and to get the money to buy the seed, the feed, the fuel, they have to have crop insurance. And the crop insurance is so expensive that the government steps in and helps them out with that. I think that is a worthy investment to make sure that we can eat as Americans and that we can help feed the world. And I will stand by that. And that's why we had these programs expanded in the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, H.R. 1, and I will stand by that. You were talking about state issues. We have two state legislators here. Maybe they'd be willing to talk with you after that, after tonight. I'm not an expert on taxes, but especially that sounded like a state issue from what you were speaking of. So Brad or Chris would be willing, I think, to talk with you tonight. Did that answer your questions?
I'm going to take your nose out of this thing.
Okay. Look, let's have a show of hands here tonight. This ought to be fun. How many of you voted for Joe Biden? Okay. How many of you voted for Donald J. Trump? Okay. Probably a little more Biden than Trump, and that's fine. I voted for Trump. I'm not the best of friends with Trump. I've met him maybe 5 or 6 times. He's a totally different person in person than you would see on television. He's almost 80 years old. If you think I'm going to change Donald J. Trump, I have got. Say that again.
Quit letting him get by with unconstitutional items such as arming
Let me tell you what makes this clip dangerous for Republicans. Fred Higginbotham isn't some liberal activist who showed up to make noise. This is a former California firefighter who served 4 years for this country, inherited a century farm from his father, lives on land his great-great-grandfather helped settle, voted in Missouri, the reddest of red states. This is exactly the voter Republicans built their entire identity around. White rural conservative landowner, veteran, multi-generational American. The kind of voter Trump points to in every speech and says these are the real Americans. And this real American just told Mark Alford to get his head out of Trump's ass on camera in front of his neighbors in Polk County, Missouri. That's not a swing district. That's a Trump plus 30 district. When this voter is breaking, the floor is collapsing. Watch what Fred actually said, because it's devastating. He's not talking about social issues. He's not talking about immigration. He's not talking about culture war nonsense. He's talking about the actual price of being alive in America right now. $20 a pound for steak, because corporations control everything. Medical insurance he can't afford. Costco prices destroying his family budget, about to lose the farm his great-grandfather built. And Trump's solution? Tax cuts for billionaires while raising tariffs that wipe out farmers. Fred knows the math. He watched Trump talk for 30 minutes and got sick at the lies because he can fact-check them in real time at the grocery store. Here's what should terrify every Republican strategist watching this. Fred said I voted for Trump isn't relevant anymore. He's done. He's pissed. He's plugged in. He's watching Trump speeches and identifying lies in real time, and he's not the only one. The reason Mike Johnson told Republicans to stop doing town halls earlier this year wasn't because of liberal protesters. It was because of Fred. Because guys like Fred, who built the Republican coalition, are publicly destroying these representatives in their own districts. The base is breaking. And when a Missouri farmer with a century farm and military service is calling Trump a dictator in a public meeting, you're watching a political realignment happen in real time. What Alford represents is the entire collapse of the Republican promise to working Americans. For 40 years, they told farmers, veterans, working class voters that the party would protect them from coastal elites. Then they spent 40 years cutting the programs that actually helped those people and giving tax breaks to the billionaires destroying their communities. Fred figured it out. He named it. He shamed his congressman live on camera. And the only response Alfred had was that he enjoys answering phones. That's not a politician. That's a corpse with a flag pin. If this is the new normal in MAGA country, Republicans are in deeper trouble than the polls show, because the farmers know. And once the farmers know,
I love this, because for years in the Black manosphere, we have been saying this. Okay, we have been talking about this since 2019, when we talked about the truckers who voted for Trump, who saw their taxes increase with that tax cut in 2018. In 2019, the floor started shaking, and in 2020, it completely buckled. Wash, rinse, repeat. We told the Black manosphere this back then, and you're starting to see it happen in real time right now. Here you have an actual white male conservative Trump supporter who served his country. Great-grandfather was a colonizer, had that land for a whole long time, can't afford to keep the farm going because of the cuts to U.S. aid and all these big, big beautiful bill spending cuts, right? And then Medicaid and Medicare can't take care of this guy because it's not affordable for him, right? Nothing done about the Affordable Care Act or the Obamacare as we know it. Cost of living is increasing. A war that is that's going to cost this guy at least $1.2 to $1.5 trillion. Asking for more money for the military for a war that that can't be won. And you have the Black manosphere telling us Jasmine Crockett is the problem. Graham Plattner is the problem. Fannie Willis is the problem. Letitia James is the problem. Keisha Lance Bottoms is the problem. Kamala Harris is the problem. Hakeem Jeffries is the problem. And here you have it, an actual white male conservative Trump supporter who is saying, get your head out of Trump's ass. And what do we get in the manosphere? You're wrong, Daddy. You're wrong, Daddy. Vote blue no matter who. It's the butt hurt blues. Here you have it. And we have been saying this for a year. We told these people in 2024, you have to work with this guy on screen. This guy is not interested in working with Black men. Nor is he interested in talking with Trump's lackeys like this guy on screen. Okay? This is it. This is ground zero. You have white nationalists getting on trains. You have this guy going off on his own state rep. This guy is also pissed at the Trump administration, and he can't keep his farm open, and he can't afford the cost of living, and he voted for all this.
Voted for it.
Yeah.
He voted for it. Hey, listen. Forget about the culture issues, the culture wars, and all that crap. Whatever this gender stuff is and all that. This guy's dealing with what is existential, his survival. This is what this guy's dealing with. This is what this has come down to. And he voted for this.
And these guys are worried about Mondani. Oh, well, what do you think about the Democratic Socialists? And what do you think about Graham Plattner? And what do you think about, Westmore and reparations and, the fuck are you niggas talking about, man? We've been telling you guys that this is going to be a problem, and we told you in 2024, you have to work with people like him. Where's your 19-point agenda? Take your 19-point agenda to him and see what he does with it. He's ready to bite this other white man's head off, including Trump, and you guys think that you're somehow benefiting, that Black men are benefiting from the system? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Wow.
If a white man like this, with all of his colonial investments into the system, isn't working for him, how's it working for Black men? Nicole?
Mike, I would. There's nothing to add to that. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, it's really sad to say that, but there's nothing to add. I mean, my goodness, where else are you guys going? But it's vote blue no matter who, and the butthurt blue, and all of this.
How they predicted Lindsey Graham dying. What we're about to see in November, I don't think anybody alive has seen in this country. You're about to see a complete reshaping of parties. It's happening in real time, and none of these guys have anything to say about it because they're too busy on pianos playing memes and sound bites and worried about Sabby Sabs and Tim Black and all these other pontificators. This is the real fear right here. This is it right here. This is the final destiny. When people like him, when voters like him are angry and showing up to town halls like this, and when you have Mike Johnson, like she said, telling Republicans stop doing town halls, it was not because of the Democratic Socialists of America. It wasn't because of Mamdani. It wasn't because of Jasmine Crockett. It wasn't because of Letitia James and Keisha Lance Bottoms and Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and all of these immigrants and the border. Nope, it's because of guys like this.
I told you I went to a Congressman Lawler up here, my congressman in the district right next to me. Went to his town hall, and it was right there in Nyack, right off the Hudson. Mm-hmm. And he was there, and I tell you, this was over a year ago. They were going wild on this guy. They were going wild on him. Republicans were in there going wild on him. I was like, okay, people are very unhappy as to what's going on currently. Now you've got Trump, he added more in and as to what was happening in the war and so forth. And people are really hurting. People are really dealing with these kind of ground floor issues. And they were really kind of going in on the congressman, a good while ago. Mm-hmm. We saw this coming, and there were a lot of conservatives in there, and I think I spoke about that on the brain briefly. But this is where we are now, and it's getting ready to come to. It's getting ready to come to a head, and I think a lot of us have seen it, but few really want to talk about it.
This is in Missouri, a Trump plus 30 district. Look at the show of hands in the audience when he asks how many people voted for Biden versus voted for Trump. If this is not the writing on the wall, that this administration is about to have a catastrophic failure in November and in 2028. And these guys sat in the manosphere. I think, J.D. Vance got next up. He's about that life, right? Pete Hegseth, he a real one. A whole white nationalist. This is coming from black men who claim to be pro-black and African.
Wow. Unreal. Incredible.
You can't get more quote unquote he's the avatar of what a Trump supporter looks like. Okay? Right. He's no longer a Trump supporter. Those days are over and done with. We're only 1 year into the administration. 1 year and 6 months.
Wow.
He's not the only one. There's plenty of these guys growing by the day who are sick and tired of the foolishness that's going on in Washington, D.C. We covered this about a month or so ago about black people, specifically black men, being pushed out of federal roles, having their jobs taken from them, not because of performance issues, but because of the color of their skin and their gender. And you have 300,000 black women losing jobs. Economists are saying this is an economic indicator. When black women start losing jobs like that, that's usually a key indicator that you're going to head for catastrophic collapse at some point. Meaning if you have two failed quarters, that's usually signs of a recession looming. You got, cars being repossessed within 90 days. You got Section 8 being cut. You got SNAP benefits being cut. All of this is happening under this administration, and these mofos have got nothing to say about this. If you don't believe the Black Brain Trust, you'll listen to this white man, since y'all love these white men so much, okay? Y'all love these Trump supporters. Y'all are all about Trump. I hope, I voted for Trump because he has big balls. I don't know if you understand, his balls are not that big anymore. If they ever were. Because according to Stormy Daniels, he had a little gummy worm in her deposition during that court case. So I'm saying all that to say this and give my closing thoughts. Be prepared. Anybody who signed up for this in 2024, the writing is on the wall now. You have a big problem coming your way. You're not going to clean that up in 90 days. I'm sorry. It's July now going into August. You got August, September, October, November. You got about 3 months to get all of this straightened up, but you're not going to be able to get it straightened up because you're too deep, too knee deep into this, too waist deep into this. Impossible for you to actually climb yourself out of this. He's not going to recover his farm in 90 days. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Tariffs and taxes did not help this guy. Okay.
Immigration. The immigration issue, that craziness they pushed and had a lot of people buying into. Mm-hmm. What has it done for them? So all of this right here is showing you what the real bottom line is coming down to. And when it starts coming down to the bottom line, you start to see where people are really going to go and where they're going to line up. So that's what we're looking at. This is nothing that anyone is making up. This is not this is not being hyperbolic or anything else like this. These are real people standing up and saying what they're saying. In a deep red base, that is not good. In a deep red base, not good. Not good. And the DSA didn't create that for them. Go ahead, Mike.
No, those are my closing thoughts. Essentially, again, what's going to happen in November, I don't think anybody alive has seen anything that's about to come. And a lot of these black men specifically who went out here and supported this administration have absolutely nothing to say about what's happening right now. And we told these guys in 2024, you have to work with white men like this one on screen who is angry. He has no interest in a 19-point agenda. He is not interested in your child support claims. He is not interested in getting black women back to the table. He is not interested in anything that the military has to say. This is a full-on Trump supporter in a Trump 30-plus district. This is serious business now. You got white nationalists moving around on trains, and black men have absolutely nothing to say about this.
Silent. Unreal.
Any last words?
That's it, Mike. Thank you for inviting me up.
Indeed. Thank you all for joining us. Please hit the like button on the way out, share the video if possible, and hit that notification bell so you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust.